Hi, I'm Mackenzie. Welcome to my vlog. Today's pretty much just a normal day. I'll go through a lot of other stuff later, but for now, first things first, I need to make Maddie's lunch for school. The first thing I always do when I'm making Maddie's lunch is soak the apple slices. I use a mixture of 2 cups of water and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and I stir it up, and then I let the apple slices soak for about 8 minutes, and this helps to keep them from turning brown. She really likes fruit, so on this day I also packed her raspberries and strawberries that I sliced up. I also added some goldfish crackers and a peanut butter sandwich with no crust. Every morning when she sees me get out the bread, Molly comes and waits for me to toss the crust to her. I just dropped Maddie off at school and I've waited my 5 minutes to make sure she didn't forget anything. Now I just have one errand to run this morning, and that's to the grocery store. I went on my big grocery shopping trip last night, but I was just at Walmart because everything else was closed, and there was one item that they didn't have, and that is bulgur wheat, which I need for a chili recipe that I'm going to be making soon. So I'm going to head to the grocery store and hopefully they have it there. Yay, they had it. Back at home, it was time to feed the cats. The brown one here is Toast and the white one is Joe. I can't feed them on the floor because of the dog, so lately I've been feeding them on this one little section of the counter. As long as they stay right in this spot, it's easy to disinfect once they're done. Maple has a sensitive tummy, so she gets this very specific kind of fancy feast. And she doesn't get along very well with all the other cats, so she eats by herself in a separate room. Now that the pets are fed, I decided to go for a quick walk because it's really such a beautiful fall day and we just don't get that much of this kind of weather. So I'm going to enjoy it and appreciate it while I can. And when I get home, I'm going to drink a cup of coffee and just chill for a few minutes before I tackle dishes and laundry and hopefully some yard work. We don't really have anything out of the ordinary going on today, just kids going to school and practice later, and then tonight we have a football game. On my way home, I noticed this cute little flower at the edge of our yard, so I stopped to take a picture of it to try to identify it just to make sure that it's a friendly plant and not something that's invasive, because we have plenty of those. And then Frankie came to say hi. Hi, Frankie kitty. Frankie is the only one of our cats that goes outside. She's indoor, outdoor, and she just loves it being outside. She's an old cat now, and she doesn't stray very far from the house, do you, Frankie? Not so many big, long adventures like you used to go on. Good kitty. Yeah, you're a good kitty. She's 11 years old now. The app that I use for plant identification is called Picture This. So I looked up that flower and it says that it is blue wood aster, which I'm happy to see because I know that asters are a good native wildflower to have in our yard. So yay! Now for coffee in one of my favorite mugs, my cow mug that the kids got me for Mother's Day a few years ago. It's so cute. While I was sitting and drinking my coffee, I made this menu plan to hang up on the fridge. I love using Canva to make things like this because it's just fun and easy, and look how good it turned out. I don't menu plan the way a lot of people do, where they, write out the days of the week and what they're going to have on each day. What I do instead is when I'm making my grocery list, I just pick out like 4 or 5 or 6 recipes that we think sound good for the coming week or 2. And I make my grocery list based off those recipes. And then I just make a whole list of the recipes that I got ingredients for, and I hang it on the fridge. And on any given day, I just look at the list and pick out what I want to make or what we feel like having, what sounds good, what I have time to make. Some days we have leftovers, so we just eat those. I used to menu plan that way on a calendar, but it was just really hard to stick to it. Things were always getting switched around. So I just started doing this instead, and this works really well for us. At this point in the morning, knowing that Zander would be heading off to school soon and would be needing to pack a lunch, I decided to get out our bin of sandwich stuff that we keep in the fridge and go through it and see what needs to be replaced or replenished. We were out of tomatoes in the sandwich bin, so I sliced a couple of those and put them in a container to add to it. I also sliced up a whole can of black olives. We go through a lot of black olives, and I'm too cheap to buy the ones that are already sliced. Then I made Zander's lunch. He's a junior already, so I don't always make his lunch for him, but sometimes I do, just because I can, and it's a nice thing to do. So I made him a sandwich and I wrapped it up as tight as I could to keep it from falling apart. I bagged up some strawberries, washed an orange, added a couple fruit and nut bars, and a couple pieces of string cheese. And with that, Zander's off to school too. Andy's home today, so he took him in and dropped him off. And as much as I would like to procrastinate on these dishes forever, they're not going away, so I might as well just get started. That load of dishes are done for now. The dishwasher is running and I hand wash those that are on the counter right there. There are still plenty in the sink that I'll have to get to later. I'm realizing right now that I need to make a decision about dinner, whether I'm going to cook something or just do, chicken nuggets and fries and stuff out of the freezer. I'm kind of thinking that I want to do either chili or lasagna. And I think that I should just go with chili because it's the first thing on my list and everybody likes it. So that's a win. So I'm gonna get started chopping the veggies that I need for the chili. Before I can do any chopping at all though, I need to take the compost out because that bowl is really full. This is our compost pile all the way out in the backyard. We made the little fence around it out of headboards and footboards from an old bunk bed. This is leftover vegetable soup from last week. If you watched my recent grocery shopping video, I mentioned this slow cooker vegetable soup recipe. We tried it. We weren't fans. It wasn't for us. The recipe had really good reviews and comments from people who really enjoyed it. So I don't know if I did something wrong or if it's just not our taste. But I'm just gonna go and take this and dump it in the compost as well. Joe and Toasty are really hanging around me in the kitchen, trying to get into what I'm doing, and I'm trying to keep them away from the food in the kitchen. So I know that they must be hungry still, or at least they think that they're hungry. So I've decided to just give them another can. Mister. There you go, Stinky Joe. He's not stinky. You're not stinky, are you, Joe? But his nickname is Mr. Stinky because he is a little stinker. And now Toasty is eating, so she must have been hungry too. You're a good kitty, Toasty, good kitty. I'm gonna start with my peppers. I need a red pepper. It's supposed to be a red pepper. I'm using a yellow pepper, obviously, and a green bell pepper chopped also. And I'm going to put everything right into the pot. I also, of course, have my compost bowl here for my scraps. I'm gonna move everything so that it's a little bit more easily accessible. Now I'm moving on to the green pepper. These green peppers at Walmart yesterday were so big. All of them were. Next up is 1 cup of finely chopped carrots. I'm making chili. Not pumpkin chili though. But also not the chili I made last time. Yet another kind of chili. I mean, obviously 1 cup of chopped carrots means at least 1 cup of chopped carrots, right? Of course I'm gonna add extra. That's probably enough though. Here, Molly, you want a carrot? Next, I'm doing 4 cloves of garlic, and I'm going to do an extra little one just because. Well, I've gone far enough and I've gotten to the point now that I need to chop some onions. I have a really hard time chopping onions. Like, it burns, you know, I have tears, my face is red, my nose is running. So I have tried all of the tricks and all of the life hacks that I've ever come across for chopping onions. And the only thing that I found that works is the kids' swim goggles. There we go. And now I can chop onions pain-free. I'm going for 2 cups of chopped onions here. I know that this is going to be more than 2 cups of onions, but I don't want to waste the rest of it, so I'm just going to add the rest of it in. And I'm going to keep snacking on my carrots. Put the lid on that. Keep the onions in there, away from me. And now goggles are off, the gloves are on for jalapenos. I need 2 jalapenos, seeded and minced. I'm finally all done with the chopping. Actually, I shouldn't say finally, it didn't take me that long. My next step is to saute these for about 10 minutes in some olive oil. And of course, I'm not going to measure the olive oil. I need a 1/4 cup. Good enough. If they start to get really dry, I'll just add more. While the veggies are cooking, I'm gonna get the rest of my ingredients ready to go. I'm gonna measure out my spices and rinse my beans so that they will be all ready to add to the pot. Let's see, I need 2 teaspoons of cumin. 1 teaspoon of coriander. This might be the only recipe that I have that uses coriander. 4 tablespoons of chili powder. I'm probably gonna have to open a new bottle of this. 1. I can hear the veggies starting to sizzle now. I'll start a 10-minute timer for those. 2, 3, 4 teaspoons of salt, plus more to taste. Well, we'll start with the 4 and see how it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 teaspoon of black pepper. I'm using 2 cans of red beans, 2 cans of dark red kidney beans, 2 cans of black beans that I left in the pantry, and 4 cans of fire roasted diced tomatoes. I'm gonna rinse these.
That's delicious.
Hi, honey.
Oh, good boy.
The veggies are looking good. I'm gonna add in my tomatoes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gonna add in my spices. Just basically at this point, everything else is getting added. I need 5 cups of water. There's 3 cups of water. There's 2 more cups of water. This is my 2 cans of red beans and 2 cans of black beans. Okay, there's 2 cans of kidney beans. There's 2 cans of tomato puree. this is what it's looking like so far. I love this chili recipe because of how colorful it is. I have one ingredient left to add, and that's the bulgur wheat that I ran into the grocery store for this morning, but I think I left it in the car, so I'm gonna have to run out and get it. There it is, I found it. The last thing to add is 1 cup of dry bulgur wheat. This is a 1/3 cup measuring cup, so I'm adding 3. 1. 2. Open this other one. 3. I'm gonna put away these dishes that I hand washed today. I don't even know why we keep this. We never use it. Should probably just find the lid for it and donate it. If we used it, it might work. We actually keep the bread in the fridge because if we keep the bread in the pantry, the cats tear into the bread bag and eat it right through the plastic. So I guess this would work, but we just never use it. The first 30 minutes of simmering the chili is almost over, and I just realized I totally forgot something. There's supposed to be 2 cups of frozen corn in this chili, so I'm gonna add it now. And of course that's gonna cool it back down, and I'm gonna have to turn the temp up to bring it back up to boiling, but whatever, at least I remembered. Look at it simmering away. Looks so good. Whoops, oh gosh, now I spilled it. Adding in the corn. See, look how colorful. I was thinking, what can I do with my time while I'm waiting for the chili to be done? And I decided, why not make more dishes for myself? So I'm going to make some no-bake cookies. I'm gonna double the recipe. This is another recipe that everybody likes. I mean, I guess, of course, it's cookies. But it's difficult, it seems like, to find things that everybody likes. So I'm gonna start with 3 cups of granulated sugar. 1. 2. 3. 2/3 cup of cocoa powder, because I'm doubling. 1 cup of butter. 1 cup of almond milk. Stir with a wooden spoon until the butter melts. Okay. So we stir. Hello.
Hello.
What's Joe doing?
Hunting.
Who's he hunting?
Take a guess.
Frankie?
Nope.
Toast?
Huh?
Toast?
Nope.
Lucy?
Nope.
What? Griff?
No.
I don't know, I give up. Oh, Ginger's out.
Yeah.
He's scared of Ginger. The butter is melted, so the next step is to turn the heat up to medium, stirring constantly, and bring it to a boil. So I'm gonna turn the heat up. Oh boy. There we go. Stir constantly. Now that it's simmering, I'm setting a timer for 1 minute. It says to simmer for 1 minute exactly, then remove from heat and keep stirring for 30 seconds. It simmered for a minute. Now I took it off the heat and I am continuing to stir for 30 seconds. Now I'm adding 4 teaspoons of vanilla. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 1/3 cups of creamy peanut butter. Of course, I can't seem to find a 1 cup measuring cup that's clean, so we're gonna do 4 of these.
Here, who got out?
Yes.
This is Bun Bun.
Bun Bun went on an adventure.
Under your bed.
Was she? Figures. I just cleaned the carpet under there. Hope she didn't pee.
The next run into town is Mattie.
And to drop Griff off. Once the peanut butter was all stirred in and melted, Griffin added 6 cups of quick cook oats for me. The next step is the simplest one. The whole recipe is really easy. Trying to fit as many on the tray as I can, because we don't have that much room in the fridges to fit more trays. There's the first tray ready to go in the fridge. Hey, the dishwasher's done. Thank you, Bo. Gotta find room in the fridge for another one. The dishwasher is finally done, so I'm gonna unload it now and reload it. Get some of these dishes out of the sink.
Do you want to go look at that spot?
Yeah, can I load this and get it started?
I can load it.
Well, did you mark it somehow, or how am I gonna know what spot you're looking at?
Well, it's the spot that rubbed through from friction on the ground.
Okay. It just didn't seem like a pinhole the way water was spraying out of it.
It doesn't take a ton of pressure to really shoot out.
You gonna finish loading this?
Yes. I mean, you should be able to see. So it's got like ribs, right?
Uh-huh.
They're all flat. It's ripped, like
Okay.
it vibrated through. Oh, Captain. Oh, Captain Stinky.
The chili is done. I already tasted just a little bit and decided to add 1 more teaspoon of salt to the pot. The house is really nice and quiet now because Griffin had soccer practice and Andy took him. So I have the house to myself and it's nice and quiet. It's just me and the cats and the dog, but she's asleep. So I'm gonna sit down and eat a bowl of chili for a late lunch. And while I'm sitting here, I'm gonna take this time to research homeschool curriculum. I pretty much have everything buckled down that I'm gonna use this year for Zander and Griffin. But I just haven't found a history that I really like yet. You'd think by this point I would have, I've homeschooled a lot of kids through high school, and you would think that I would have high school history buckled down. But I'm still looking. I still haven't found anything that we really like, so I'm going to try to find one that we will really like, or that I think we'll really like anyway. There really are a lot of options out there for homeschool curriculum. So I feel like if I just keep looking, I'm bound to find one that I feel like would be a good fit for us. It's really hot, but it's really good. When Andy was doing the dishwasher, you heard us talking about the washer hose, or when we were switching places for the dishwasher, you heard us talking about the washer hose leaking. We have 2 different washers. We have a big washer and a little washer. The big washer is the newer one, and it has been leaking from the drain hose on the back, and that's gross water, so we haven't been using that because of that. We've only been using the smaller washer, which is an old style washer that I found on Marketplace several years ago for $50. I swear it was one of the best things I ever bought, because now anytime the newer washer stops working, needs a part, needs work, whatever, we can use the old one. Also, sometimes I just prefer the old one for things like pillows or stuffed animals or things that are extra dirty that I don't want to use the newer washer for. So what we were talking about was that drain hose leaking on the bigger, newer washer, and he was saying that he's going to fix it. That's really all it was. Hopefully he can fix it and we can start using it again soon. I have about an hour left until I have to get ready to go to Zander's football game tonight. So I decided to come out into the yard and take a look at my little native plants that I have in the ground and also the ones that are still in pots and see how they look. I started reading a book called Prairie Up a little while ago, and it's all about turning your yard into more of like a native prairie space, I guess, and planting native plants. So I got impatient. I didn't finish the book yet, but I still wanted to just get started. I wanted to get something started this summer, and it's late in the summer, so now's the time. So I just went to our local native plant nursery and I bought some little plugs and I started putting them in the ground. I just dug up the sod in a few areas and filled the space with topsoil and plugged in my little plants. And they were all doing great, and then the bunnies found them, and the bunnies have been eating them, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do to keep the bunnies away from them. I also have some still in pots that really need to be planted in the ground or they're gonna die. So I need to get to that soon, and I'm just trying to brainstorm and think of what I could use to keep the bunnies away, at least until they get established. Here's one thing that I have, metal blazing star. Just a few weeks ago, these were really tall. Here's one that flopped over. I mean, they're not flowering anymore, but they had pretty purple flowers on them. And now you can see bunny. On this side, I have orange cone flowers. And I mean, at least there's still some leaves. I think this might actually be a weed. But these leaves look right. So at least there's still some leaves for those. They're so small. And again, the bunnies have gotten to them. I'm gonna have to figure out some way to fence off the whole little area. Over here in this spot, I have large flowered beard tongue and some weeds that are growing back up. I need to come out and pull some weeds out. But anyway, these are the large flowered beard tongue. They actually don't look too bad. I planted 7 of them, I think, at first, and only 3 of them lived. So I went back and got more, and now they're looking pretty good. I have, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them anyway. So one of them died, but that's okay. Prairie onion that the bunnies don't like, so good. That I have covered are sky blue asters. Like, you can actually see there's actually a flower on that. Look how cute. That's looking so good, and the only reason it's looking so good is because I covered them from the bunnies, because as you can see, the bunnies ate all of those off too. So I went to Dollar Tree and bought these little wire garbage cans, I guess is what they are, waste baskets, and I covered all of those so that the bunnies can't get to them, and now they're doing really well. Unfortunately, it's just not super practical to buy those little wire covers for everything that I have in the ground. It would take so many of them, and also the plants are gonna grow too big for those anyway. And then over here still in pots, what are these? Prairie drop seed. That's like a little grass, I think. These are, what are these? These are not looking too good. That's what they are. Not looking too good. Need to get into the ground. But what are they? Pale purple coneflowers. They need water. I should water these today. But then I have them sitting like this, again, because of the bunnies. Butterfly milkweed. Yeah, I'm excited to plant those. I think those get orange flowers. These are lead plants. Lead plants are really cool. They actually take like 3 to 4 years to mature all the way. But I need to get those in the ground also. Yeah, so that they can start to get established at least. And this is some weirdness in our yard. We have this lilac bush that is not looking very good. But it must be confused because it's blooming. Like, the rest of the bush bloomed 2 months ago. Weird. The cookies are not quite set up all the way, but they're mostly set up and they're really good. With the little bit of time that I had left, I decided to mow some. At the beginning of the summer, I had this great idea to mow for 20 minutes a day. I figured that would be enough to keep up with it. Of course, that didn't happen. I'm still always surprised at how much I can get done in just a little bit of time. It's starting to get a little bit buggy out, especially when I'm over by the trees. So I'm gonna go get ready for the football game now. It's supposed to get down to the low 50s tonight, so I got out the glove and mitten bin. I haven't looked at this since spring. I sure hope that I can find something that has some matches. Close, but no. Here's a big pair that has a match. Okay, there's one thing to take. Oh. There's another one. Okay, 2 pairs. Hey, 3 pairs. Did I see another one of these? Oh, what's this right here? Nope, not the same. What, this one? It's the same brand. Those look like a match. Okay, we're doing good. 4. That's probably all we need, really. And here's a little stretchy pair. 5. Yay! I'm gonna toss all of those in my bag. What else do I need to take? Oh, Zander wants a charger and a cord, or a battery pack and a cord. A couple hats, just in case. And the blanket. And I'm gonna take my hoodie. And I think we'll be good to go. We're on our way to the football game. We have been soccer parents for 15 years, but this is our first year as a football parent because Zander is the new kicker for our varsity football team. We had to wait until Griff and Mattie were done with practice, so we're a few minutes late, but we're happy to be here now.
Let's go, Z!
Cross your fingers, all of them.
Yes! Yes!
That's gonna do it for tonight's game. Thank you, everybody, for coming out.
We're on our way home from the football game now. I almost said soccer game, but we're on our way home from the football game now. And Mattie went with her grandparents, so it's just the 2 of us. And since it's just the 2 of us, we are going to listen to a true crime podcast. I'm sitting down to eat my second bowl of chili for the day. I had it for lunch, and I'm having it for a late dinner. What a great day this was. We did not win the football game, but Zander did his job well, so that was fun to see. I hope that you all had or are having a lovely day. Bye for now. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.